Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another CinemaFolks episode. We're going to be talking about today about WB. As I stated in my Disney Investor Day video, which is insanely long. Hopefully, you guys are watching that and enjoying it. Um, I I know it probably seems weird to not be addressing the other things that happened in the Disney Investor Day conference, but I think I said my piece in that video. So if you guys want to know my thoughts on the Disney Investor Day conference, just go watch that video. But today we're going to be talking more about the WB HBO Max deal, because as expected, as I said in my HBO Max slash WB, when the whole slate announcement was made. I hopped on YouTube and I made a video which was my thoughts were I found the deal to be extremely destructive and extremely consequential. Well, those words are becoming, well, true. And true in a very, very aggressive way. Um, we'll just start with the two elephants in the room, the two big, things that are going on. And then we'll address some of the other things that are happening that are not directly involving the HBO Max deal, but also stuff that's happening within WB. So it's basically a WB episode today. Um, so let's just get into it. So uh, let's talk about not one, but two of WB's staples, the two filmmakers that they rely on the most to make money, have just ripped into them. And I don't mean that lightly. Like, they went right where it hurts. And of course, we're talking about Christopher Nolan, and today, Denis Villeneuve. So let's address Christopher Nolan first, because Christopher Nolan, he put out a little bit of a statement. I don't remember the statement beat by beat, but basically what he had stated was like, yeah, all filmmakers went to bed one night, the last night, thinking that they were going to have their film out in one place, and now they woke up the next morning realizing that they are working for the worst streaming service. Damn. um, So, yeah, no surprise, as I said in my video with the HBO Max thing, that Nolan is very unhappy, which was expected. I mean, um, and um, well, to piggyback on his statement, or at least bring his 2 cents, Denis Villeneuve has now come out. Now, I actually have this statement, and I wanted to read it to you guys because you thought that Nolan's was a little bit of a like, wow. Here's Denis Villeneuve's, because this is really interesting. So I have, apparently he wrote the article as well. There's a Variety article which was released, and Denis Villeneuve himself actually wrote the article and wrote out a big, big statement about, well, his distaste, his disliking for WB at the moment, let's just say, to put it lightly. Um, but I'm going to read these two quotes, and I think it'll put into a good perspective, to say at least, how he feels. So I say that with sarcasm. So so the first quote is quote, "With this decision, AT&T has hijacked one of the most respectable and important studios in film history. There is absolutely no love for cinema, nor for the audience here." Wow. Wow. Okay, continuing on. It is all about the survival of a telecom mammoth, one that is currently bearing an astronomical debt of more than $150 billion. I don't know if that's true or not, I'm not sure. Therefore, even though Dune is about cinema and audiences, AT&T is about its own survival on Wall Street. With WB's launch a failure thus far, AT&T decided to sacrifice WB's entire 2021 slate in a desperate attempt to grab the audience's attention. WB's sudden reversal from being a legacy home for filmmakers to the new era of complete disregard draws a clear line for me. Filmmaking is a collaboration, reliant on a mutual trust of teamwork, and WB has declared that they are no longer on the same team. Streaming can produce great content, but not movies of Dune's scope and scale. Warner Brothers' decision means Dune won't have the chance to perform financially in order to be viable, and piracy will ultimately triumph. I completely agree with that statement I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. Warner Brothers might have just killed the Dune franchise. This one is for the fans. I do that because that's how he puts it in his article. AT&T's John Standke said that the streaming horse left the barn. In truth, the horse left the barn for the slaughterhouse. Dune is by far the best movie I've ever made. That's some pretty bold words coming from Denis Villeneuve. My team and I devoted more than 3 years of our lives to make it a unique big screen experience. Our movie's image and sound were meticulously designed to be seen in theaters. I'm speaking on my own behalf, though. I stand in solidarity with the 16 other filmmakers who now face the same fate. Please know I am with you and that together we are strong. The artists are the ones who create movies and series. So, Denis Villeneuve, to visually represent what he just did, was along the lines of something like this. Just rock 'em sock 'em, just came in ready to fight, and wow. Wow. Did not expect those words to come out of Denis Villeneuve or Nolan along the same lines. But I want to address now also in the article he also addresses that public safety comes first, obviously, and all this stuff. So he's not blind to that. So he is he's self-aware about other things, but he clearly does not like this deal at all. So there's one thing that he mentioned that I did want to bring up, which was the financial potential that Dune now has. He now openly addresses that he believes that Dune will not perform financially, and the reason for this, again, to quote Denis Villeneuve, is this: streaming can produce great content, but not movies of Dune's scope, and scale, which is what I said in my video about the WB HBO Max deal. There has not been a streaming platform that has sustained or shown that they can present something to this scale or scope and still be financially successful. They have yet to do that yet, and I don't believe that it has the capabilities to be that way. And Denis Villeneuve seems to agree on those terms, as does Nolan in some capacity. This is just blows my mind, just seeing how Nolan and Denis Villeneuve, and also Judd Apatow, I also heard what came out today as well, slamming WB. I actually saw on Instagram that Jason Momoa and Josh Brolin, who also star in Dune, came in support of Denis Villeneuve's article today. But this is troubling. This is insanely troubling, and I do hope that WB is listening to this. I hope that they are listening to this and they are actually consulting and talking to Denis Villeneuve and Nolan. And, mind you, in the article that Denis Villeneuve did bring up, the 16 other filmmakers who now face the same fate. That's the quote. Which means that he has also been in talks with Denis Villeneuve and Nolan, presumably, have all been talking to these other 16 filmmakers who have these tentpole projects. I'm pretty sure they all feel the same way as well. So we might hear other names be coming out and making these same statements in the next few days as well. But the two heavy hitters just came out just as is, and who knows who else is going to come out and say something. I already said Judd Apatow has also made a statement out there, but Denis Villeneuve did not hold back. He is clearly unhappy, and the part that really I think WB needs to be concerned about is this particular quote that he put, or this particular statement that he put out, which was this: filmmaking is a collaboration reliant on the mutual trust of teamwork, and Warner Brothers has declared they are no longer on the same page, or on the same team. And Denis Villeneuve is not directly saying it, but he is very clear that if we do not fix this, he is walking, okay? That's basically what he is almost saying, as is Nolan. Both of these, keep in mind, these are two filmmakers that WB is in the business with, Denis Villeneuve and Nolan, okay? Especially Nolan. And these two are, this just shows you how bad of a plan this is. And again, as I mentioned in the video, how consequential this plan really is. Because it's not about just the money. It's about the creators. It is about the people that supply the money for you. And when you take a big shit all over all these people, especially also your distributors, your exhibitors, when you don't inform and talk to any of these people about what you are planning to do, there is huge consequences to doing something like this. And here are those consequences. You are now seeing filmmakers like Nolan and Denis Villeneuve and Judd Apatow, who are coming out and also production companies, Legendary Pictures, not too long ago, who also distributes Dune and put like 75% of the budget towards Dune and Godzilla vs. Kong. They're looking to possibly do lawsuits towards WB. So this is extremely troubling. And I do hope that WB is listening and that they are having conversations about what the future of this deal looks like right now. Because is it really worth sacrificing or losing Nolan and Denis Villeneuve? I don't think so. But it's their decision to make. But now, I also learned from a podcast that I listened to. I don't know how legitimate it is, but I don't know if anybody watches the John Campea show, but I watched it a little bit. And they discussed the same thing about the Denis Villeneuve deal. And apparently one of them had an insider and that slipped a little few things to them. That apparently this is all based on leverage. Toby Emmerich, who is trying to get his way up the chain. And basically, he's saying, I could give a shit about all these other people beneath me. I just want to get my way up in the company. Which, to be fair, if you're in a business, you do always want to find your leverage, but it should not be this consequential. It should not be this destructive. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't think that this is really showing you how bad of a deal this really is. Like really, really bad. And I really hope that WB is listening to this, because this is extremely bad for them, especially when we get to our second topic now, which goes into which talks about directors, is the DGA. Now, if you read the New York Times article that came out, the most alarming thing that I think that has come out of the backlash from this HBO Max deal is this. The DGA is looking to boycott WB. Now, they have not said flat out that they are going to boycott WB. They are simply talking about it. But let's just put that in perspective. The DGA, the Directors Guild of America, who represents pretty much 99% of the filmmakers that you see out there, don't care indie, big blockbuster, does not matter. If you're in the business of being a director, you have to be represented by the DGA. You just have to. If you're going to be an actor, you have to be represented by the SAG, Screen Actors Guild. If you're going to be a writer, the WGA, the producer, PGA, you have to be represented by one of these unions. The DGA, just again hear this out loud. The DGA is thinking about boycotting WB. Can we, WB? Can we acknowledge now how bad that this deal really is? You now have the DGA, the people who represent the creators who are supplying you money. They are now having discussions about removing all of their filmmakers from your company. This is seriously, WB, you have to make a statement. You have to make a statement. You can't just go off Twitter, or I don't know where it was, but one of the CEOs was like, yeah, we're hearing a bunch of noise out there. That is not enough, okay? You have to put out a big statement about this, because now you have the DGA saying we're probably going to boycott. We're not sure yet, but we're having discussions. The fact that it's even at this point, the fact that discussions are even being made about this is alarming. Now, this also leads to other issues because the DGA, the SAG, the WGA, the PGA, all of these are all in Union-C. They are all in, they do not, even though they're separate entities, they are all one group of people. They are all in it together. So if the DGA boycotts, guess who else is probably going to boycott? The SAG, the WGA, the PGA. All of these people are probably going to protest, or not protest, but boycott as well and remove themselves from WB. That is not good. And WB has to make a proper statement about this very, very soon. Like very, very soon. Because this is going to really put them in a terrible position come 2021. Like extremely bad position. Because as I've mentioned time and time again, I do not think that this is a financially great move. But more or less, as I had mentioned in that video, that this is much more consequential for your creators and for the future of your company in terms of content, future content to be made. Because who the hell is going to work with you if the DGA boycotts? You're going to have really nobody. I mean, you're going to have to find someone who's not represented by them, but good luck. But let's talk about the SAG for a second, the Screen Actors Guild, because the reason why they have a reason to walk out or to boycott as well, because as I learned from a few articles, a lot of the actors who are in contract with WB are not being given fair compensation or bonuses that they rightfully deserve. Now, Gal Gadot has gotten hers because she had gotten her deal beforehand with Wonder Woman 1984. She's reportedly going to be receiving like $10 million for the project, which is great. But there is a slew of actors who are in contract who are not being given the same deal. People like Will Smith, Margot Robbie, Keanu Reeves, just to name a few. They are not given the same deal, and they are pissed. At least to a couple of articles that I've read, that these names that I just mentioned and many others are very, very pissed off. The whole Hollywood is pissed off. Like that's pretty much what everyone's been saying up to this point, is that everybody in Hollywood's pissed off about this deal. So again, WB, I mean, it's time to put out a statement. It's really time to put out a statement. Now, I don't know if this can be backtracked at this point, because this is just too big of a move to make to now backtrack on. I don't know if they will. It seems like they won't. But at this point, they need to put out a statement of some kind. And I have heard as well that, just to further talk about the actors, I've heard that WB is now having conversations with the performers and giving them potentially new deals to give them the fair compensation and bonuses that they earn. But that still does not, that still shouldn't have happened in the first place. Everybody should have been informed. Everybody should have been, there should have been meetings about this months ago. The Legendary Pictures should have had their meetings. These actors should have had their meetings. The directors should have had their meetings. Every single person who is a creator or a representing their company in any capacity in any of their projects have to be informed. Okay? From top to bottom, everybody has to be informed. So once they make this announcement, everybody does not complain. But you didn't do that. So now you're having a lot of people coming out and telling you to basically fuck off. Like, I don't like to say it, but that's basically what everyone's saying, is that if you continue on with this, you're not going to have us. And you don't want that. You do not want that for your future. You just don't. You need creative, you need that creative flow to come from extremely talented individuals. Not saying you can't find any outside of Union, but most of the people that you would legitimately want to work with and to get in the revenue that you would want from name. I mean, Nolan gets asses in seats just by name. Denis Villeneuve, I would also say, is getting into that same vein as well. you're killing relationships. You're absolutely killing relationships by doing this. So um, I sincerely hope they make a statement very, very soon. Um, so it's just like I said, I mean, I know I'm reiterating at the same point, but like I said, this is going to be extremely consequential. That's what I said when this deal was made, and I'm not wrong. I mean, I'm not wrong. I mean, this is what's happening now, and this is this is going to really put WB in a very, very bad position moving forward with a lot of um, their creativity and a lot of with their support. Because again, I don't think this is going to be financially successful. I really don't think so. Um, so I am really, really curious to see if they put out a statement soon in regards to this whole all the stuff that's going on right now, because this is insane. I mean, I cannot believe that Nolan and Denis Villeneuve put out those statements. Those are absolutely insane statements to put out there. Um, just insane. And I mean, forget that. The DGA coming out here to looking to boycott WB, that is even more insane. Like that is crazy that those discussions are even being made. So yeah. To close out today, I mean, I want to talk about another WB type thing that happened today, which was it has nothing to do with the HBO Max deal, but it actually has to deal with a other problematic thing that happened in WB, and that was the production of Justice League. Um, as everybody knows, Ray Fisher had, of course, um, a very had a lot of vocal things to say on Twitter in regards to the production of Justice League. He's been um, asked for an investigation to be made, and apparently that a misconduct investigation was made, and apparently that investigation is now complete, and action is being taken. So there will be action that is taken because apparently they did find some stuff that happened on set that was not a really um, up to code type thing. Um, so I won't point at anybody, but I've heard a lot of things about Josh Whedon online from a lot of, I would say, reputable sources. I I don't know, um, but it is interesting to know that the investigation is now complete and that action is being taken. And I've seen like people online, like really bashing on Ray Fisher for this. Like a lot of people bashing on Ray Fisher for even having this investigation take place. What's the harm in this investigation happening? I mean, look at the results from the investigation. The investigation showed that there was stuff that happened on set that was unacceptable, either that being verbal abuse, toxicity, dispute, um, that clearly stuff like that happened on set. We don't know to what capacity, but and we're not gonna be handed that information yet. I mean, come on, guys. Everyone out here on Instagram and on Twitter and everything, all saying like, well, we kind of need to know. I mean, of course we want to know, but we're not gonna get that information yet. The investigation just got complete. We're not gonna know this for like months, okay? We're not gonna know anything about this for not for months. Um, so um, but we can say with now with Ray Fisher coming out on Twitter that there was stuff that happened on set. It's no longer a what if. We know. I mean, we've known even way before that there was definitely some issues on set with Justice League, but now we can say with confidence that there was stuff that happened on the Justice League set. We don't know in what capacity, but we know that there was stuff that happened. And I am all in support for Ray Fisher taking action to remove that type of behavior from film sets because that's unacceptable. Okay, I don't care who you are, I don't care how high powered you are, you have no right to be treating people the way in whatever capacity that is, whether that be in toxicity, whether that be in verbally abusive, physically abusive. Don't laugh. There has been cases like that. And of course, with the hashtag #MeToo movement, stuff like that as well, should never, ever, ever, ever happen to any individual on set, off set, unacceptable behavior. And the consequence for it is for you to be removed. So, um, because that should never be a factor that comes onto sets. Never, never, ever should be accepted. So I'm glad that Ray Fisher took initiative to do so. Um, and again, yes, was it a career-ending type thing? Yes, it could have definitely killed his career. But look at him. He did it. He did it, and he was able to bring his voice out and bring attention to something that happened on set that clearly is not meant to be on set. And the company is now taking action. They're now going to be taking action, and I don't see what the problem is. I really, really don't see what the issue is with someone. I mean, I never understand this argument with like actors and people should just be quiet. They're allowed to speak their minds, okay? Even politically, I know that people have issues with actors like taking stances on like politics and stuff. They're humans, guys. I mean, acting is their job. It's their profession, but they are allowed to speak on whatever they want to do. And if Ray Fisher wants to come out and speak on his experience about Justice League and take initiative and conduct an investigation, let him, okay? And if results come out as they now show, and there was stuff that happened on set, that's even better because we are now eliminating toxicity on sets. At least, taking action on it. So I don't see what the issue is. I really don't see what the issue is with Ray Fisher doing this. Okay, yeah. Did we hear it like practically every week? Yes, but at the end of it all, we've seen that the results are positive results, and that they're going to mean something, and they're going to do something that is going to benefit a lot of other future sets that may have been working with these particular individuals. We don't know who, but we can assume some faces. Again, I am not saying who, but Josh Whedon is known to be a certain way on sets, according to some sources that I have heard and I've listened into. So, as it's not, out of the realm of possibility. I'm just saying. Um, but, um, but beyond that, I mean, that's pretty much it for this episode. I mean, it's pretty much been a WB episode. Like I said, WB has got a lot of work to do. They've got a lot of work to do. I hope that they put out a statement very, very soon, because it's only going to get worse. I mean, I wish I would say it's going to get better, but it's really going to get worse. They have hit the iceberg, and they are now the sinking Titanic ship. Um, it's it's only a matter of time until they're completely engulfed in the water. Um, it's only a matter of time. So, I mean, you guys let me know about your thoughts about Denis Villeneuve and Nolan's comments and the DGA and just all this just insanity that is happening right now. Just let me know your thoughts about it, and hopefully everything gets resolved soon. Hopefully WB maybe backtracks, who knows, or just puts out a statement that may be pleasing or make some announcements. We'll see what happens in the next coming days, but you guys let me know your thoughts about all this stuff, and I will catch you guys next time, and hopefully I'll have a review out for Amon Night. I think that's named, the Kate Winslet Saoirse Ronan film. Hopefully I'll have a review of that film out, hopefully by this week coming up. But depending on if anything else comes out with the WB deal or anything else, and just the film industry in general. Until then, I will see you guys on whatever video may be next. And again, WB, it's time to put out a statement. It's just time.